Welcome back to WagerTalk.com NFL Wildcard Weekend. We're going to break down a few of these games. The three of us are going to give you a play on a game on Saturday and Sunday. Brian's going to actually give you two, and we're going to start with him because you're coming with an NFL teaser, and that's something that this year the books here in Las Vegas have not liked the teasers. They've been getting beat up with them, and we remember last year on Wildcard Weekend, they got absolutely destroyed because almost every teaser combination, no matter what you did, came in, and it even prompted Caesars, all their properties on the Strip, they took the teasers off the board, which was a huge mistake for them, especially the week because the numbers that were coming up the next week weren't prime teaser numbers. So what are you going to do? But Brian, you're looking at the Houston-Oakland game and the Seattle-Detroit game just to get the numbers on that. When Houston opened here in Vegas, a 3-point favorite with a total of 37, currently seeing 3.5 and 36.5. Money has been all Houston. 61% of the tickets have been on Houston, 72% of the money, and that goes with the fact that Oakland's going to have to be starting Connor Cook that's going to be making his first NFL start. Seattle opened 7.5, 43, currently 8 and 43. The money surprisingly on Detroit, 61% of the tickets and 61% of the money on the Lions. Which way are you going in these two?
Well, we've talked about doing a teaser, and I've always done the 6-point teaser at -110. This time I'll do the 7-point teaser at -130. The reason being I want to take that 3.5, taking it up to 9.5 is not going to help me as much. I want that over 10. Basically, when you take a look at Oakland and Houston, the total on this game is 36.5. So you know there's not going to be many points scored. And if you watched any of these teams' quarterbacks all season long, you know there's not going to be a lot of points scored. Oakland does have outstanding receivers, but you got to get somebody to get the ball to them. So with a total of 36.5, and you're teasing it, we're not teasing the total, but we're teasing the side up to 10.5. You're covering the 4, 6, 7, 10, the key numbers on that, in what looks to be a low-scoring, close game. In the Seattle game, we've got Seattle taking it down to 2, so you're covering the 3, 4, 6, and 7. Out of that, and Detroit, I wanted to play Detroit, but since Stafford hurt his finger, it just hadn't been the same. So you got an injured quarterback for Detroit going into a Seattle defense, and they're not quite the same they've been in the past, but they're still a very good defense, and by far the defense is much better than the offense for Seattle. So basically we're looking at Seattle to win straight up at home. We're going to be laying the 2, or basically laying the 1. So that's the way I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to do the teaser. I think there's value in that. I usually don't do the 7 minus the 130, but this is the time I want to do it.
All right, and for those wondering what is going on with Brian's voice, well, Brian and I just came back from California. We were at the Rose Bowl. If you watched the Rose Bowl, you know we were screaming. A lot of action in that one, and he has no voice left. Ralph, let's go to you. You're looking at one of these same games, and you're looking at the Oakland-Houston game. What are you looking at?
You know, I'm looking at Houston, and not for the reason of just the quarterback being out. You know, you talk about being a situational handicapper, as am I, and a lot of times when we get to the playoffs, we don't think about schedule. Oakland played at Denver last week. They're playing their 4th road game in 5 weeks, and now they're playing on a short week having to travel, and you're playing the #1 defense. Connor Cook becomes the first quarterback ever to make his first start in a playoff game. And while you normally can handle that situation if you have a good rush attack, against this D-line you're going to struggle. You know, and when I look at what Cook did last week, you know, he was 14 of 21 with a TD, but he had 2 sacks and 2 fumbles. That shows you some nervousness. That shows you what happens when you're on the road this week. That shows you what happens when you're on the road against a good defense. The checklist I do between the teams, basically, the only 2 categories I gave Oakland an edge on were the O-line and the wide receiver. And as Brian mentioned, those are the only 2 categories that you need your quarterback to make sure those 2 come to fruition. So, you know, Houston head coach Bill O'Brien, 18-2 straight up, 14-5-1 ATS as a favorite. I like him in this spot.
All right, good stuff from you guys. And hey, don't forget, guys, at Wager Talk, weekend all access, $69. We do it each and every week. Thursday through Monday, you get everything for $69. Check it out at WagerTalk.com, and we'll be back with more here at Wager Talk.